Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Vishnu Anand and today we're going to have a look at the 45-minute race at Hungaroring. So this is the race start and I'm being extra careful in this case. I'm leaving a very good margin to the cars in front and I'm just going to hope to God that the cars in the back don't rear on me and also have a safe margin. You can see the beamer in the mirror breathing on my neck, but let's see what happens here. Wow. So this is a tradition in the rookie classes. There's always have to be a lap 1 crash in the opening few seconds, but you have to try to be as safe as possible and continue on the race. Let's have another look at this lap 1 crash. Here we go. So it's a different perspective. I go through these angles post race to analyze if there was anything I could do to avoid this crash. In this case, I don't think so. There were a couple of cars outside and they decided to come back to the track, and this was a double whammy for the Ferrari there, and that McLaren was just unfortunate. But we have minimal damage, so we can continue in this case. This Beamer, after spinning out in the first turn, decides to come back aggressively. He's carrying a lot of speed, so I just decided to let him by. Carrying so much speed that he has to go off track. Little naughty, but it's okay. And this McLaren also being very brave on the right hand. I don't know what he was doing there. It was a really ballsy move, but it's okay. We don't give up the position. We started 12th, I believe. Now we're about 9th, and it's all about consistency from here on, not incurring more damage, which will have to, which will force us to make a pit stop. So I'm trying not to make an unwanted pit stop here, so I'm trying to be consistent, be safe. And this was the Beamer behind us, and it's overtaking us now. We keep pushing. I try to get this Beamer now, so let's have a look at that. This is a couple of laps later. I'm very close to the Beamer in front. This Beamer has been understeering a lot in all the corners. I think it's already overheating his tires, and he overshoots this corner, and I maintain my line. I go around the outside. As you can see, other cars are pitted, so I gain around 3 positions here, including this overtake. I was also a bit cheeky with the outside overtake, but it's okay. It's okay. We take what we get. This Beamer tries to come back at me, but we get him. I gain, I think, 8th, 9th, 10th. I think this is about 6th position, I believe. Yeah, this is 6th place. There's a gaggle of cars in front. My next goal would be to get close to them and hope someone makes a mistake. I try to put more pressure, and someone's already blinded, so that's 5th position now. We keep pushing forward, and I hope to put pressure in the Ferrari in front. The Ferraris are really meta in this new update, so it's going to be hard to catch them, but if they make mistakes, then that's going to make it easier and easier. Modi wheel to wheel with one Ferrari. I overshoot my braking and I almost crash into the white Ferrari. Thankfully he sees me coming and takes avoiding action. I had to apologize to him post race, but this green Ferrari is trying to come back at me after missing his chicane earlier, but I try to keep my position and defend hard here. Yeah, that's all about. You wait for other people to make mistakes and you try to take that position. That Ferrari was so close to take me out. Thankfully he was good on the brakes. Again, I try to take the racing line. It's my corner basically, because it's not even close to me. It's not even side by side. He's way behind, tries to make a lunge, but I close the door on him. Not exactly closing the door. I think I just take my line and move forward. At this point, after the crash, I have a little, I've used up my tire a bit, but it looks like the Ferrari in front has used up more. So I have a small tire delta here, so I try to catch up to this Ferrari. My only goal here is to put pressure on this Ferrari and make sure he makes some mistake, because it's very difficult to run side by side in hungaroring. Off the racing line, there's a lot of tire marbles which can really affect tire performance. So little bad exit out of this corner here. I've been suffering from understeer all race, so I think it's just my setup. I didn't get enough time to dial it in, but it's a compromise I have to make for the straight line speed somewhere else and the downforce somewhere else, and looks like he has made an opposite compromise, and I'm very close to this Ferrari here. Let's see. This is a really good move from me. I'm already side by side. I've made him go the outside line. Again, he has an unconventional line into this corner. Again, I don't give him enough space to come wide and then cut into this corner. He has a very weird line, and due to that he goes off. This is the kind of mistakes I was looking for, and looks like it worked out. Good on the brakes here. P4 taken. Let's have another look at this overtake. Very close to him, just waiting for him to make a mistake, which he did. He went over the curb and unsettled the car, and from here on it's checkmate. I can easily force him to choose the other off racing line, and it's cakewalk from here for me. Yeah, there you go. That's P4 for me. On to the next one, next position. This is still before the pit stops. I'm trying to undercut this Beamer in front, but there's still a lot of time left for a pit stop, and I still have a little tire left, but my tires at this point are overheating because I've been pushing qualifying laps for almost 10 laps, and that's giving me a small performance deficit to the Beamer in front. But it looks like I've been chasing this Beamer for a couple laps, but he's had performance all along, but it looks like he's also losing tire performance. And while I was behind him, I tried to conserve some tires. I tried to cool my tires down a little, so that when he actually overheats his tires trying to keep me behind, I get a good launch on him. In this case, where I'm very close, about 3-4 tenths behind, I'm catching him rapidly in all the corners, but it looks like he has a good exit here, but he twitches, and I also follow him and twitch, but I get a better exit. I'm almost side by side in the front wheels. This lasted for a couple laps, and I'm only showing the final lap here. I go on the inside, and it's my corner all along. I give him enough space because he's still on the outside. He tries to come back here. I was a little scared because I couldn't see him. In my mirrors, but I try to give him enough space in case he puts a dive, so that he doesn't end up taking both of us out. But it looks like he had considered the place, so that's P3 now. That's my podium position. I had such a good exit off this corner, so this overtake was inevitable, but he fought hard. He gave enough respect, so it was a fun overtake. Yeah, that was his mistake. He went too wide, and I think he gave me some space, thinking I'll barge into him, but I was on point with my brakes. I returned the favor here. I also went wide, thinking he'll come on the inside. He could have, but I think he chose not to, and that's P3 easy. Yeah, this is, I think, lap 17, lap 18 out of 24, and I'm almost out of fuel. Refueling is mandatory in these 45-minute races, but a tire change is not required. After I overtook this Beamer, I felt like I had enough tire performance to last me a total 24 laps, so I didn't bother changing my tires, which would have cost me 5 more seconds. Mandatory is 25 seconds, which I completed using my refueling, so that's my refueling done. Although some people did undercut me in this case, so now I try to catch them back. after the pit stop, I try to cool my tires down, I try to nail the lap times, try to be as consistent as possible. In this case, something that other people have made mistakes before is they end up speeding the pit lane, which will give them 30-second stop go penalties, and because of that I was able to gain all the positions I lost by running longer. Now this is almost at the end, about 4 or 5 laps remaining, and these two Ferraris in front are fighting each other. The red Ferrari is a back marker and I think he's trying to unlap himself, but it's too slow. He sees me coming and immediately gets out of the way. That was a little dodgy, but I saw his brake lights come on, so I was able to read that he was going to let me by, and I was able to move ahead. Now onto this Ferrari. I am P4, although I couldn't gain all the positions because of penalties to others. I think in this case this person in front has a stop go penalty, so what I'm trying to do is, before the end of the race, in case he doesn't serve his penalty, which the penalty time will be added on to his results later, I'm trying to stay as close as possible in case I won't be able to overtake because only a few laps are remaining. But he pins it, he almost crashes into me. I usually run over that curb there, but because he was already there, I thought he'll spin and I gave him enough space just to be safe, and that's P3 for me back. I gained my the podium position back. So at this point I'm thinking, whoa, I'm P3 for the first time in my career as a rookie with LFM, but in other cases I've been P3 and I've winned it. So I am just trying to be consistent, not make mistakes. At this stage the tires are fully gone, they offer no performance, they're sliding out everywhere. You can see my traction control is almost at 4 or 5. That's a high traction control I'm keeping so that I do not slide anywhere. And this was a very, very hairy moment. I don't know what he was doing there. He came back onto the racing line. At that point I thought he was going to crash into me, but let's have a look. I think he was trying to move out of the way, but unintentionally it looked like unintentionally he was trying to ram me out of my podium position. This was a back marker, and yeah, that was a little sketchy, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he didn't want to crash into me, but there was no contact made. I was able to get out of it safely, and thankfully my podium position stayed intact, and I wasn't involved in that crash there. And that's the race complete. My first proper podium. I gained this on merit. The other people made mistakes and I didn't. That qualifies as merit for me. I've been struggling with consistency on this track for a while, so at the end after this video I went through the whole 45-minute race and saw where I was lacking, where I was better. So this whole YouTube journey helps me analyze where I'm going wrong or where I'm doing things well, so I can learn from my mistakes. My opening lap, I think I have to be more aware of my surroundings and I have to be more consistent. I have to plan my pit stops properly. This time I went longer, but I got undercut by 2-3 positions. Maybe that shouldn't happen ideally, and I should also dial in my setup more. I'm exploring all the setup options, so I'm going to be working on these things, and I'll see you guys next week in Watkins Glen. I've already had a few trial runs on this track and I love this track completely. Next week is going to be a new car. I'm going to be using the McLaren 720S. So I'm going to be spending a couple of days trying to find a good setup. I'm also be practicing in Watkins Glen because it's a new track. And yeah, I'll see you next week. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. It'll help me keep motivated to make more videos. So bye.